We're back. We're finally back. Thanos snapped his fingers, and we're the remaining people here after the COVID Infinity Gauntlet snap.
And Murder Hornet invasion.
Oh yeah, the Murder Hornets. They came, they saw, they got flamethrowered. Elon Musk led the way in that with his new fucking Tesla suit.
His new Tesla suit. Didn't he have a Tesla flamethrower?
He did have a flamethrower.
It was called not a flamethrower though.
Yeah, it's called not a flamethrower.
Oh wow! And I think it's cool because if you look at it, technically it wasn't, because it was just like some spray can with some igniter in it, and it was like anybody can make it, but I made it, and it's not a flamethrower because that's illegal. Don't you like the way the law works? It's technicalities.
So what is this? What are we doing here today?
What is
this? Tell me. Y'all haven't even said the fucking name not one time.
No. People of culture, we back. It's not people of COVID no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm Sorvana. I have no nickname right now. Give me one. Throw me one real quick.
Oh man, I ain't did this.
I done this so long.
Oh man, Swerverona.
Swerverona. I'll take it. Cool. COVID Moto 19.
We should just call him Komodo 19.
That makes me sound like a fucking android.
You might
Komodo
be
19.
Cyborg.
Alien.
And who do we have here?
Darby Deuce, the Slump Lord.
The Slump Lord.
You know, like Ski Mask, the Slump God.
Oh, so you used to be killing people.
I mean, I got to do right.
Slumping niggas, how you do?
I do got to do right.
It is tied in such a I don't give a fuck fashion.
It is.
It's tied in like, you know, when I
say new school.
So like, you know, when I see people that had their do-rags tied like that, you know, like I've had my share of wearing a do-rag, and I've tied my kids' do-rags several times, and I've never been at a point where I'm like, you know what? It would be really comfortable for my kid if I tied it with the knot over fucking here.
I never got that. And then on top of that, when you tied up, it's like, I feel like the string don't even fucking equate for you to do it over there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, how did you do that?
Right, you really got I don't know.
I have a way where I do all that, but
it just looks like something that rappers do, and it's how you know that they're a rapper. It's like, he's extra. He must be a celebrity.
Right.
He's extra.
That's true.
A lot of shit trying to stand out. But we do have a special guest today, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, y'all?
We have the myth, the man, the legend, KB. Stove up. Well, I don't want to know if he should give out all that. KB, you know what I'm saying?
KB.
Our first live in-person guest. Should have been knowing that the KB. We've been talking about getting him here for a long time. So
what's good, y'all? What's happening, everybody?
Yeah. Shout out. So we've known KB for a hell of years, man. We go way back with this man. Some of y'all might know him longer than me, but yeah. So he's always been a real solid dude, A1 individual. Nobody really has anything bad to say about him. You can ask 100 people. Like, nobody has anything bad to say about KB. Like, so 100%.
Well respected.
Very well respected.
By multiple people. He's what Joe Biden wants to be.
Good.
Oh my God. Speaking of Joe Biden.
Yep. So we're going to get into today's episode, man. We're going to talk about this Emmys, you know what I'm saying?
We could talk about Joe Biden.
We can talk about it all.
We can, fuck.
I'm about to say.
I mean, Joe Biden and stimulus almost go hand in hand.
In a sense, yeah.
Joe Biden thinks Joseph.
There's a good segue in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I know there is.
Basically, Trump versus Biden.
Joe Biden said Komodo isn't black.
He said I wasn't black too.
Yeah, he did say that. He said you ain't black.
Are you black according to Joe Biden?
Yeah, I'm black. I didn't question it. I literally argued against y'all. I knew who to vote for.
Oh hell no! I know who to vote for too. Shit.
I mean, I
was trying to tell y'all not to
for anybody, but you know, like
the answer is not Biden.
The answer is Vermin the Supreme.
The boothead motherfucker?
Yo, Boothead's about to come in hip hop.
Who?
Boothead's gonna be the new fashion statement in hip hop.
Motherfuckers even wearing boots on their head?
Why not?
Boots on the head? I don't see that.
Designer boots.
Oh God!
Like that?
Yeah, they started out from the struggle. Like, this ain't who I started out. Man, I just had a little work boot on my head.
Virgil gonna be the first one to do it with Off-White.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my gosh, I really hope it didn't come to that.
Yeah, bro.
Courtesy of Vermin Supreme
Vermin
and
Supreme.
Virgil Abloh.
If
Vermin
I see,
Supreme, bro.
if I start seeing boot heads in hip hop, I'm just gonna make the switch. Like, it's 100% soul and blues from now on. I'm done.
I'm an R&B artist now.
I'm checking
I'm
out.
out.
It's like I don't know rap. I've never listened to rap.
Yo.
I don't know what that shit is.
Love and happiness stocks rise again. That's it.
Happiness.
We need to do an episode where we look into hip hop trends that never caught on. Because I remember when California people were wearing boxing shoes, and that never went far.
That's
You see, you wasn't in Cali or knew about that. They really tried to make boxing shoes a thing,
It can probably
and
be
then
done now, though.
Gucci,
What?
and don't forget Gucci designer in cars never went far.
Wait, hold
design
up.
in cars.
What kind of a boxing
I'm sure
shoe
people
exists?
still do.
Like boxing shoes with like all those laces,
Like
and
the
stuff
really
that.
tall ones?
Yes, those are trying to be a
Boy,
fast
them
statement.
skinny leg motherfuckers look like they'll put on some boxing shoes.
They want to wear that? Like,
That
like
was
for
that-
real?
It was the same people that was probably doing the jerk.
Hell yeah, I can never see
Like they put them on and said, yeah, I'm gonna get hoes with this. Like they looked in the mirror and said that.
I mean, the far
crazy.
as we, but like, motherfuckers will put them supers on. Them supers is really tall, high.
I ain't gonna lie, them
shoes, too.
supers do be up there, bro. I got a couple pair of them shits.
Don't forget reverse jeans, or you're wearing your jeans
was
backwards.
doing that?
Like crisscross.
Oh,
Yeah,
crisscross?
crisscross. That was a thing, but it didn't catch on.
It was a thing. I thought when you said reverse jeans, I was like,
Hip-hop
talking about like
trends that
turning
didn't
inside
catch
out or
on.
some
Joe
shit.
Biden once again. Hip hop trends that didn't catch on. Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton.
And the Joe Budden football jersey.
Basketball?
Oh yeah. How about Joe Biden's
So
whole?
listen, when this part of the show comes on, just pull up the picture. Just Google it.
Just Google it.
You'll be able to find it.
And then
immediately.
don't forget Joe Biden's beer line.
Joe
Beer
Budden
line.
versus Joe Biden. Oh,
Joe Biden taking the W.
Hell no.
He's way more cool.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
What kind of competition are we even talking about?
That's how they whooping ass.
If who's more black?
Oh, who's more black? Oh,
Joe Biden
okay.
taking the W.
Joe Biden's way more black than I am. You know what I'm
Kim
saying?
Kardashian versus Joe Biden. Who taking?
Kim Kardashian
Kim
versus Joe
Kardashian
Biden.
both more black than Joe Biden.
Kim Kardashian definitely is in the lead out of who can pander to black people the most out of those two.
She's fucked the most black guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Biden ain't so.
Oh no! Because that third strike rule.
Joe Budden did kind of push
Joe
for
Biden.
that those mandatory minimums
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Yeah,
with the Clintons.
yeah.
Joe Biden's definitely fucked more black guys than Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
He was part of that super predator movement
Type
with
shit.
Hillary.
You didn't turn around and talk about you ain't black and you don't vote for me.
Well, hold on. Didn't he have a part in
Damn.
what's it called? The thing that I refuse to watch as a black person. What is it? With the 5 black men that went to jail?
Yeah. I know what
The
you're
something
talking about.
5.
The New York 5.
Yeah. Hold on. No, didn't Joe Biden have a hand in that?
I believe that was Trump. Trump said something like that, guilty as fuck.
No, I mean like
He-
when it
he came
happened
with an
back
article.
then. Like I'm not talking about talking about it now. I'm talking about when it was happening right back then. Didn't he have a thing in it?
I don't know.
Bro, I think he did. Hold up, Joe.
I really thought it was just Trump making fucking comments about it. At the
Yeah,
time.
Joe said
What are you
not
talking
Joe, Trump said they deserve like the death penalty. Or
I
something.
thought it was more than that. I thought he actually had more of a hand.
Central Park 5.
People don't want to talk about Central Park 5 about Trump. Like that didn't happen.
Trump just don't acknowledge shit that he don't want to acknowledge.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, real shit.
And like that's how he wins. He just acknowledge. He just like says what he says until that's the narrative.
I do that shit on Facebook.
Until enough people believe him. You know what I'm saying? He says what he says until enough people believe him, and then he pushes that narrative to the people that believe him.
Biden
He's
just
really
goes off
smart.
topic mid sentence.
Biden is like dementia-esque.
No. So
They're gonna
I know
have
why
to
it says.
replace him before November.
So
There's
Biden
no way they
isn't
can-
senile. You just don't understand he has a speech impediment, and what he does is what people do with a speech impediment.
Bro, they also said that he's showing signs of dementia because he
That's
can't
not.
complete thoughts.
No. You look up about this stuff about like having speech impediments and things like that. That's how Biden's doing it. It's not that he has dementia.
Well, whatever.
He's very cognitive in thought. And
I
talking.
don't. It doesn't seem like he's cognitive in thought.
He like slurs whatever else, so he's like trained himself where he just goes off into another sentence.
Listen,
It's not dementia. He's always been doing it. It's just now that he's more popular, people now bring it up, but he's always been it.
That
I don't fuck with
motherfucker.
him, no.
Now I did say I do feel like because he is running for president now, you are seeing a lot more of Biden because you didn't care that much when he was VP. Like you care who the president is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he didn't talk much because he didn't need to talk much.
Obama was too charismatic. We didn't need nobody else.
Well, that's how it always is. You don't really like. If you look back, most of the VPs they don't really.
No, I think Pence actually does carry some weight for Trump, like especially during this COVID shit when they start talking about that. When shit gets a little bit beyond Trump's understanding,
but here's the thing.
Pence will step in and start talking.
That's mostly because Trump passes it to them.
Trump passes it
because he knows
when.
Because Trump knows his flaws, and he's like, okay, I'm finna fuck this shit up. Let me just alley with my man right here.
I don't know about that in this thing because I think Trump and Pence know the exact same in this whole thing.
But I'm saying I think Pence is much more well spoken and eloquent than Trump is. Like you know what I'm saying?
But Trump didn't get. But like nobody wants eloquent for Trump.
Correct.
Right. Sometimes you need that. I'm not saying like 'cause Trump is of course the leader of the show, but I mean when during certain speeches and certain conversations, like when the COVID was real touchy, I feel like Mike Pence did a lot more speaking because he was knowing how to just better phrase shit without the news taking it and spinning it, which they're gonna do regardless.
See, I took it more. Trump got bored and he's like, all right, I'm done. I'm gonna peace out.
Nah, I feel like he was trying to play it safe, and he's like, before I fucking put my foot in my mouth, let me let him handle
He
this shit.
said we should probably use some disinfectant.
Trump said he put what's his name Pence in it because he said he didn't have shit to do. He's like,
yeah,
you wasn't doing
it
shit.
wasn't because of all that.
He
Trump
did
was
say
saying
that. He
some
was like,
wild
you
stuff.
wasn't
He's not
doing
gonna
shit.
admit his fucking flaws. He's fucking Trump. He's not gonna say before I fuck up, I'm gonna let him talk. He's not
But,
gonna say that shit.
but he said plenty of crazy quotables though.
Yeah, because he be talking without thinking. But
He was
before
like
does that shit.
using some disinfectant. He's like, it's amazing, 0.01%. Maybe we could do something. Inject it.
Bro.
It's crazy how.
But he
fast it is.
only said that because somebody had told him that though. They were really looking into
This
that,
motherfucker
and
be looking
there
at-
was like a study on actually. There was a device that they had that they put the thing down inside you and it like cut on an ultraviolet light and they were actually really testing that. He didn't get up there and bullshit it. That was conveyed to him and he conveyed it in the best way that he possibly could. Now I'm not saying it was a good look, but there was some actual factuals behind that. He shouldn't have got up there and said that to them people though. Because that was some still testing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he
wanted to give some hope.
He just get up there and do what he wants to.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
People
if
respect him for
anything,
it.
That's gotta be the most fun job ever.
If anything, that motherfucker is entertaining. And at the
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
least, I have been.
But now look at Biden. I'm entertaining. You ain't black.
No, it's
ain't
not.
that funny?
To me,
It's not funny in the same way, bro.
Fuck Biden.
That shit is hilarious.
It's just like Trump's funny in a way that's like. He's actually funny. It's not funny because like, oh, he's a stupid politician. He's funny because he's like a real asshole.
Trump roast people. Just the fact he called him Sleepy Joe. Oh my god,
Sleepy Joe.
He's like old Sleepy Joe over there talking his shit. Yeah.
What was it? Ugly Ted?
Crazy Bernie.
Was it Ugly Ted? No, he called Ted. I think it was Ted Cruz's wife. He called her ugly or some shit. Like, bro.
No, because he changed it and he's like, no more Ugly Ted. Beautiful Ted. He's now beautiful. Pocahontas. You can't forget about.
For the longest, bro, the Pocahontas shit killed me because that was about Elizabeth Warren.
Yes.
And everybody was like getting offended. They were like, this is fucked up. This is racist that you're calling her Pocahontas and you shouldn't be poking fun at her. But then I see her and I was like, oh. This bitch is Native American?
Because she claimed she was Native American.
Because she was told this her whole life.
She was like, I'm blankety blank Native American. And they ran the test and it was like, bitch, you got like a drop in you. Like, at best. Like, on your best day.
He made fun of that reporter.
Oh, yeah.
He made fun of
the
that
disability.
Trump also shooed away, like, I don't know, with that medical advisor, she was like, and I had ran a slight fever over the weekend. He said, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, the woman that was like, I got me. He was like, bitch, get it.
That was hilarious. And then also he got up there and he was talking to some other lady. So he was like, and at any time will the reporters, you know, the people that like to come in here and say nasty things about me, will they be ever able to come back in here and stand in a crowd, not 6 feet apart, and write those things that they like to say about me? And he's just dragging this shit out, asking the simplest question. But you can see another one of his advisors is just back there losing his shit because he's motherfucking hilarious.
Didn't Trump say something about a rally?
Why is an old man that
die? He was like, some of you may die, but we need to have another rally. Did he say something wild like that?
I'm going to be honest with you. The longer this pandemic lockdown goes on, it's like, people are going to die, okay?
People die
People are going to die
People
anyway.
do die every day.
People die every day, B.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like with this shit, and they saying the people are dying and everything, and I get it, and I completely understand it. But you also have to acknowledge that people are also always dying around the world all the time. Like somebody dies like every few seconds.
Man,
When they say
you know what I'm saying? In some form of
dying
fashion.
is a part of living.
It's the only thing you're guaranteed in life.
Yeah. You know what?
Death is the only thing that you're guaranteed when you're born.
That's like the worst thing I think about when I smoke. My mind goes there multiple times, and I'm just like,
once you accept it though, like as you realize it's inevitable, and you just got to do what you can while you're here. It's cool.
I've accepted it a minute ago. I'm just curious how it's going to happen. That's the thing I'm curious about.
I'm looking forward to the afterlife. I'm not looking forward to death.
Exactly.
So,
what if the afterlife is just more life?
See, that would be the last thing I want.
I think everybody does reincarnate, but I think personally, and I want to know what y'all think as well. When you die, I think you're gonna get whatever afterlife experience that you expect. If you're a Christian and you think you're gonna go to heaven or hell, I think you're gonna get that. And then once because you have to be welcomed in, you have to be ushered into the shit, so you can be oriented. And then it's like, okay, your little fantasy shit is over. Now this is what's really real. And I think you get to get all the keys of the universe and all the knowledge, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't think your consciousness. I don't think your consciousness.
What?
I mean, I don't think because like you are.
This is just as crazy as getting 77 virgins.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. You feel like
I thought it was 40.
Well, to be honest
was
with
it
you,
40?
Well, if I could just explain why I
140,
think that though. You said what?
Oh, we're just talking about virgin count. Keep going.
Well, so because I think it's like this. I really think people create your own reality in this life. You know what I'm saying? You create
That's
your own
true.
life. You know what I'm saying? And you have to create it against the rules that are already set, which is just the material universe and everybody else's wills and wishes. But when you die, you're not in this shit no more. So it's like it's just nothing but your consciousness, and there's nothing to taper it against. So whatever reality you create for yourself is going to be formed just like in this life off of what you expect and what your beliefs are. You know what I'm saying? So
what you telling me?
You're going to create another reality for yourself off of what your beliefs are. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be that whatever reality you create.
Let me see if I got this right. So what you telling me, for instance, if Joe Biden dies, in his reality, they ain't black.
In his reality, everybody's black.
I mean, well, whatever he believes, he gonna bring that with him. Like, that's why I say I don't think Hillary died.
Joe Biden gonna die and open his eyes and say, "Oh, I'm in nigga world now." Yeah.
Like, if you follow like astrology and any like numerology shit, you know, they say there's like life paths, and allegedly you have to live through all of the life paths successfully. Like each life path is different. Like, and you have to go through each one and reincarnate several times before you actually can ascend to the plane that you're talking about, but having the keys to the universe, the fourth or the fifth dimension, whatever you're talking about.
I've watched.
It's like you go through each life path, and each life path has different things that you have to achieve.
I kind of agree.
I have watched.
And that's what I'm saying. And that soul, that spirit.
Shows this year.
You know what I'm saying? And you just on a, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've watched.
kind of agree with that.
I've watched two TV shows this year that has had that same concept. Two shows had The Good Place and Midnight Gospel literally have that same concept of people keep dying until you kind of learn and you reach a certain ascended level.
Buddhism, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think that people do have to reincarnate. I don't think it's a thing where like, okay, in this life you didn't get something, so now you got to learn your lesson in this life. Because outside of the 3D, time is like all at once, you know what I'm saying? So I think all the incarnations happen at once on a grand scale of shit, and really you can pull from each one if you just meditate, I guess, good enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there yet, but I do think it's a possibility.
So
that's kind of like what, have you ever seen Sense8 on Netflix?
Nah.
I've heard
it's
of it.
these people that are, it's 8 people, and they're all like spaced out around the globe, but they have this, like their conscious is connected, and when one person is like going through something, this lady was getting attacked or something, and there's another dude on that was like tapped in with him, and he was like some martial artist or kickboxer or something. Shit. And like when she started going through that, like experiencing like danger and like being scared and shit like that, he was able to kind of like tap in, and almost like she was able to harness his strength and ability skills. Yeah, and it's like,
didn't they cancel the hoe?
it was 2 seasons,
And people was upset.
they came and made like a wrap up hour and a half episode.
People
I actually
got real mad when they canceled this on
because
season.
it was so expensive to film because they literally filmed it at 8 different locations around the globe.
Oh shit!
It was.
That sounds like
See,
that
you didn't hear about this show.
But it was also
people
weird and
so
overtly
mad.
sexual because there would be scenes where they had like
That first
these
episode.
orgies that nobody was actually really there together, but it was like they were. It was very strange. There was it had very LBG.
The first episode,
whatever the
intros you
LGBT
into that. That first episode intros you into that type of stuff.
But yeah, but the concept, just the concept.
Yeah, that sounds very accurate. But I think it's like that though. I think it really is like that.
So,
but you can reach across time periods and shit as well.
So you think if you were able to
Like time is not actually linear.
exercise your psychic muscles, then
Cyclical like a clock.
if parallel universes
Everything goes in
existed, you
cycles.
could learn from yourself and other.
Well, I don't even think it's a
Senses.
parallel universe. I think it's all this one universe. I think, like you, for example, you could take you right now. You're Komodo. You was born 1990, whatever the case may be, and then another incarnation may be born in like 2300, or you.
We need a
in another
definition.
form in like the year 800. I think it's all one universe. Is different. On
We
the
need a
spots on the
definition.
timeline.
So you say universe. Are we using universe in the sense as in like a whole thing, like our planets, or are we using dimensions? Now, how we need a definition on universe and dimensions because he can say, yeah, we're all one universe, but multiple dimensions, which is the same concept as saying there's multiple universes.
Well, whenever
feel
you
what I'm
do
saying?
that, I'm saying
all of this
it
one
is
universe as far as the
multi-dimensional.
physical
But is it
plane.
one dimension?
Yeah, as far as your physical incarnations, in my opinion, I think it all happens
It's
one physical in this life.
okay, for
in this
example,
physical universe.
our universe that we're currently in is one dimension. Another universe is another dimension. Because technically we can't get to it. It's in a whole other place.
I just want to use I just need a definition on what we're separating.
I did what you said. In that regard, on the grander scale, I do think you do have other incarnations in other universes.
What is
and
the whole,
dimensions.
though? What do we call the whole of all dimensions together?
Like as far as you yourself, or just
That we can't multiply. What is the whole that we can't
multiverse?
So the way it works. No, the way it works is it's another
Multiple
dimension on top of
universes.
that. I don't remember the dimension numbers.
There's one. If he's saying it's one universe but multiple dimensions, and now we're saying there's multiple universes and one dimension. You see the concepts. That's why we need.
I think there's all of that shit.
No, check this out.
I see what you're saying, but what do we call everything?
Like the dimensions, like the number of dimensions, it's all theory based because there's technically no proof of this. But once you go up like 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 6th dimension, there's one of those dimensions that encapsulates all the multi dimensions.
That's what I'm saying. What do we call the whole?
I want to say it's the 10th.
I've never heard of it going that high. I hear people talk about like a 5D transcendence.
Because
this is an unlimited amount. We can't even stop at 10. It's like
each one has something.
If he keeps going, because every possibility and every fucking thing has to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know those Russian dolls?
So 4th dimension is no
simulation. But I feel like this shit never stops. It keeps going. You know what I'm saying? Like we are looking for a number, a finite number, because we're humans. Yeah. Outside of being a human, it's limitless.
No, but it has to be something that the whole.
No, it doesn't.
So you're saying it's constantly multiplying. It's constantly growing.
Yes,
because okay. Wait, before we go further, what is it growing in?
We don't know
itself. It is itself.
Okay, what is itself?
The whole encompassing thing, right?
Yes.
Like, I would say it's.
There's something that is singular.
No, there is not. I mean,
if there's two of that, then what is you call the both of that? Do you see? Anybody understand?
I get what you're saying. I'm saying there is one thing that's singular, but I think you're thinking what is it in? I feel like that's what you're trying to figure out.
It has to have a stop.
No, it does not. That's what I'm saying. It's one thing, but it doesn't have an end to it.
Here's the thing. We don't know the answer to this yet. Because first of all, we are still trying to figure out what the fuck time and gravity means.
What I'm trying to say?
No, I get exactly what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
But I'm telling you, the answer is we're not there yet.
But this is such an abstract construct that you can't apply a standard definition.
64 gigs of universes and dimensions.
Nigga.
And it's constantly growing because one day this will be 128. Now, if I put in here, what do we call this thing that multiple things are multiplying? What is that? And if you say this multiplies, then what do we call both of those things that are together?
I would really just say this God.
Okay, so that's what we call everything.
Like I said, we don't have.
That's the best way I can.
Nobody knows.
We don't have
like you don't. There's no solid answer.
Because here's the thing: we also have to ask. We have to.
You got me freaking out like Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents.
Because you mentioned when you mentioned the whole thing of time and all that. But here's the thing: we don't even have a stop point of time yet.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like
we don't know what the end of time looks like.
We don't even know what time is.
We don't know what the beginning of it looks like.
There is no stop. We just talked about how it's a ripple effect. It's circular.
First off,
there's no beginning and end.
First off, the concept of time that we know of doesn't exist.
It exists.
The concept of time we know of doesn't exist.
It exists. It's real here.
No, that's somewhere else we call.
Okay.
It exists.
Just like the concept we call race doesn't technically exist. We just say it.
Here's how time works. Time exists. Time exists, but the way we use it is a man-made thing that adheres to our planet. But time is also very fluid. Very fluid. Time is also controlled by gravity. And depending how much gravity you have depends how fast time moves or does not move.
I mean, you can say all those things, but that's not really what time is.
It is.
The concept, just like Sunny Delight isn't orange juice. The way we concept of time isn't actually time.
It is.
All right?
But
it is the Sunny Delight of how we think time is. All right?
The time that we go off is very specific to the planet Earth and the way we revolve around our current sun.
That's true.
The time on Pluto is not going to be the same exact time here. And the time near a black hole is going to be dramatically different from the time here. Black holes, extra gravity, ages shit faster.
Mm-hmm. In theory, yes. I've heard that as well.
Yeah, it ages shit faster.
No,
It's slower. It's slower.
Now, when we talk about aging, we talk about what affects us physically.
Yeah, from our physical things.
We're talking about what affects us.
That's
time is based on what affects physical things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Not outside of it.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like
in this physical world, it exists.
Because people say time doesn't. It exists, but we just have our own specific definition of how it affects our life. Because I mean, if time didn't exist, then shit wouldn't age.
Right, exactly.
There's nothing to calculate how this changed.
Unless there's a word that we're not using correctly, just like how we use universe and dimension interchangeably, maybe we're using time wrong.
Now that is, yes, different. Because like universe, like I said, well, to be honest with you, universe could technically be a dimension, but it's the only dimension we really know.
Man, I don't curse, but what the fuck is this episode about?
Don't let me. Don't let me on the show. I'm gonna turn into Neil deGrasse. I'm gonna turn into Neil deGrasse Tyson. Another thing I was gonna say, and I thought about this theory. You know, they said that they found evidence of a parallel universe and shit.
Yes.
Where time runs backwards. Do you know what that means?
No.
Think about this. If time runs backwards, that means these niggas already know about us. Because we just figured it out, but it's already happened over there.
Now, when you say time run backwards, everybody Benjamin Button disease?
No, see, that's what everybody mentions.
They coming out grown and dying young?
I don't know what that means because like here's another thing. When you define time going backwards, what do you mean? Is time going backwards as in everybody's walking backwards?
Is our toilet water going opposite? Is that the only concept that we know that's backwards?
If time is going backwards, I would think that means that the spirit enters through death and leaves again through birth, instead of now we come in through birth and just leave through death. You know what I'm saying? Could
you imagine a whole bunch of graves where motherfuckers just start digging themselves out?
I expect it to be like Thriller. Dun 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 dun.
Like I don't know what that means either. Like to hear that as a concept. To say, what do you mean time is going?
This is why I said we don't understand the concept. Because we can say a phrase that actually doesn't make sense.
I was gonna say it too. Like, are people talking in reverse over there? We just walk through and everybody's yep.
Everybody talks about E40.
Or maybe that's just the wrong interpretation of what we have. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's more like that though.
Like maybe they, like I said, they detected some type of energy that's flowing like that, and maybe it just flows like that because it is parallel or whatever. Maybe it doesn't mean that time is necessarily running backwards.
Can we Google time goes backwards?
I can tell you right now that shit's gonna be mad subjective. I can tell you. Because, like I said, right now, we all just came with a different answer. What does time running backwards mean? Like, am I going to look at a waterfall and it's just... what is time running backwards? Or is it just events? Or it's just us, but shit happens in reverse? So next month...
That's where the UFO came from?
Could be. Now, here's the thing. Here's
does their calendar count down there? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I was thinking this. What if UFOs was simply us in the future coming back to time?
Wait. Does that mean they're Virgos and Leos are different?
I don't know.
They got different rises.
There's not a lot of shit that's different. Because I thought about that. I was like, UFOs could literally be us in the future traveling from the parallel universe at this point. That could be, any UFO you see could be that.
What if we're the UFOs to them and the picture we got was us testing the machine and we just went too far because it goes so fast?
There's so many things.
You want to talk about UFOs? I got some
when you start fucking with time, anything goes. Like time, UFOs, dimensions, anything goes.
Allegedly, this is just things I've read again. UFOs are people or beings, not people, but beings from like the fourth dimension who have the technology for like the infinite energy and just like the self propulsion of like these machines at like hyper speed,
anti-gravity and shit.
Yes, and that's allegedly what Nikola Tesla had discovered too. But that's allegedly what these beings are. Now, that have the knowledge to come to here and see us, and that's why I think
anti-gravity.
Like, so I mean, yeah, but if you like, you look at
so they built the pyramids.
I don't know about that.
But like, if you look at like ancient civilizations, they all
devices that make it real easy to build a pyramid.
Ancient civilizations all have these things that depict like visitors or beings in flying crafts, and then being like worshipped or granting gifts and all that type of shit. They
also have animal people.
Which just scared the shit out of you because that was in the Bible,
bro.
Too.
Exactly. And like you've seen these skeletons of these giants that they found, bro. Like they covered that shit up of all these giant skeletons that were discovered in fucking North America and South America.
So we're talking about when dinosaurs roamed. Wait,
no, I'm talking about giants, not fucking dinosaurs. Giant people,
like Andre the Giant.
Giant people, like 10-foot tall people.
Andre the Giant was 8 foot. So
oh my God, I'm not talking about a human with the disease.
Like 20, 30 foot tall human.
30, 20?
Like skulls,
like Goliath?
His room type shit.
Now I will say a fair amount of those are shocked.
I'm about to say 30 feet tall people.
Bro, seriously, like 10 feet tall people. Like there's stories about like.
But I thought people were shorter back then.
No, like Goliath. Where did that come from? That's a Old Testament story.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. They said people back then were actually shorter. So David was actually like 4 feet, which was average height, and Goliath was like Andre the Giant, 8 feet. That's a giant in comparison. Average height 4 feet, 8 foot tall dude.
To today's age.
I mean, I can
you see what I'm saying? I'm saying you with a realistic.
He's not even talking about that shit.
But he's.
You know what I'm saying? There are actually.
He's saying 10. You saying 30.
But that's not what I was talking about. You took it and veered somewhere else. I'm not talking about that. I was talking about the depictions of all of like these people in UFOs coming and visiting the people of Earth. Because that's what we were talking about. You're saying talking about fucking giants.
The aliens are bigger. Is that what you're saying?
They could be.
There's a few different alien species. I'm just saying there's at least 3 that I know of. There's the Norwegian blonde people, you know what I mean? The
Norse.
The Pleiadians, what are they called?
Yeah.
I'll say I know y'all.
Oh, we talking about that? Wait,
that's
I've
an
been
alien
ready
species.
to pop out this answer thing.
There's the reptilians. There's the reptilians, and then there's the Greys.
That's all you know?
Greys are the Greens.
I'm disappointed. That's all the ones.
The reptilians are the ones that are trying to like take over.
The Lemurians, the
Greys are. Did you hear that shit about Richard Nixon?
Mm-mm.
Now, this is all alleged, obviously. And even if it wasn't, they ain't gonna release this shit because this is real alien shit. So they said back in the day when Richard Nixon was in office, he got visited by 2 species of aliens. Mm-hmm. One of them was the Pleiadians, whatever, the light beings. Yep. They came down and they said, yo, we see y'all got all these weapons you building, all this shit. You trying to build nukes, uranium, and all this other shit. That's cool, but you should probably stop because y'all gonna start wars. Shit's gonna get fucked up and out of hand. And y'all can't trust each other, and y'all just gonna spiral into deception and fucking each other over. We here to stop that. So they basically said, if you get rid of all your weapons, we will teach y'all how to ascend and go further, and y'all can explore the galaxy and all this other shit. But y'all got to be on some peaceful shit. Y'all can't be out here with all these weapons. And they're like, all right, cool, we'll think about it. Then the Pleiadians, whatever, bounced and they was like, we're gonna be watching y'all niggas. We'll be back, but we're right here. And they left. A little bit later, the Greys came in. The little tiny, big-headed ones that we know of. And they said the exact opposite. They was like, yo, if you fuck with us, y'all said y'all want new technology, y'all want weapons and shit, we'll teach y'all how to make them. But y'all gotta fuck with us. In return, we can abduct people.
The Greys sound like white people.
No, no. I was gonna say, my bad. I was gonna say, you know what? You might have a point in that, but but no, I was gonna say this sounds like the classical tale of God. You know what I'm saying? Offering man.
It does.
You know, and then, you set aside your bullshit ways. We can ascend, and you can be a higher being, and then comes the devil, who's not evil, but they just is an agent of God who probably sent this motherfucker along, test these motherfuckers, see if they really about this shit.
Angels have been testing people also. But I was going to say there's Lemurians, Arcturians, and Atlanteans as well, and a few other aliens. Now, the Lemurians are the angels.
I think Lemurians was on Earth, though. I think they are from here, too, though.
But they were the angel-type beings. Like, what we depict as angels, when you look at the old ancient texts, those are Lemurians.
The Pleiadians, then?
Yeah. Pleiadians are light beings. Those are the ones when you see depicting of people, like, it's always like a bright thing around them.
Yeah, like
those are them.
A little beam of light.
Yes.
It's fucking weird. But, so Nick
Jaden
sat
Smith
there.
comes from a Pleiadian.
Anyway. So, what the fuck is I about to say? Yeah.
Also, Scientology talks about Pleiadians, pretty much.
Yikes. The story goes that all of this is hearsay from Richard Nixon's, I think, niece. She used to play in the Oval Office with him, like play with her little toys and shit. And like she just like overhear conversations sometimes, and she'd just be like, "All right, I know I'm young, but this is some real shit." So the little Greys came in and they made that offer, and they was like, "We'll give you more better technology, some shit that's more advanced than what you used to. In return, y'all let us fuck with it and do a few experiments and abduct these on people." And they're like, "Cool, you know what? A few people. All right." They ended up making the deal with the Greys. And
of course.
said, fuck that.
Before you go on, was this only the Americans, or did the Greys come around and make deals with
they definitely went to other countries. They went to matter of fact, I think they said the Greys made contact.
They had to hit up China.
Right. No.
They had to hit up China.
No. I think they said it's record. I think they said the Greys hit up Nazis too.
Of course.
I think they hit them up.
That's what we talked about yesterday.
I don't think the Pleiadians or whatever they're called, I don't think they even went over there. They were just like, fuck them niggas. Like, nah, ain't no saving. I think the Greys.
I mean, that proved it. Pleiadians was black people. Hitler was like, what?
Yeah, they didn't do that. So what happened is they ended up making the deal with the Greys. Shortly after, they realized they got fucked over. Because two things started happening. They started giving us technology, and then we started realizing, it's like, nigga, we would have probably found this shit out in like 10 years. So they fucked us over, and they didn't even give us anything remotely close to what they had. Damn. So they just kind of just like, we can give you a little bit, but you already made the deal. And then they started abducting way more people than they said they would. Like, way more. And like, just, at this point, it's like, nigga, we can't, how do we really stop these niggas? And then Pleiadians was like,
that person. And I really do. But if I don't say it, he gonna say it. Yeah. So when it comes to the abductions, was white people getting abducted or niggas getting abducted?
I rarely hear black people.
Oh, what was you going to say? Never mind. I was going through because, let's be real here. Richard Nixon didn't say you could abduct no white people.
Of course not. But now, the thing, the aliens didn't give a fuck. They were just like, nigga, we'll pick up who the fuck we feel like.
But it was like always like backwoods farm people that talk about being abducted. Like, what the fuck?
And here's the thing, if you see UFO stories in the city, you see them, but you don't really hear about abductions. Like, you see, okay, I see a light. But most time when you hear shit, it's always off some beaten off path or some shit. That's why I'm okay in the city. I'm like, if I get abducted in the city, somebody gonna see it. You can't do shit about it, but you gonna see it. Like, yeah.
And everybody's seen some weird shit in the sky before, man. Just some shit that didn't make sense to you. Like, why was that moving like that? Yeah. Everybody's seen something, bro.
I've never really seen anything. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Really?
Dead ass. Like, everything I've seen in the sky, I can kind of tell what it is.
And Joe be looking for it.
I do.
Be looking for it.
I do. I be looking like,
a light. It might be like,
it's a star.
Why does the sky look like this type shit? You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen anything suspicious in the sky ever. I've always wanted to. I be looking.
Joe really do.
And that's my fate, bro. Like, for example, like the time we was at South by, everybody saw somebody famous except me. I was like, ain't that a bitch?
Yes, you did.
Who?
You saw Uncle Murder.
Another nigga saw Soulja Boy.
Oh, man.
Another nigga saw Soulja Boy.
Damn, that's way better.
That's way better.
And then Soulja Boy's way better than Uncle Murder.
I think it was Jalen Jones. Shout out. But he ended up, and you know, he's a photographer or whatever, so he took his picture and Soulja Boy used it for his Instagram. I was like, ain't that a
why are you so mad?
I would have just been cool with Dap. Really, I dap Soulja Boy. That's all I need. That's all I need.
I did see Walker.
Hey.
You see this shit?
Yeah, that's all.
Hey, Soldier.
The best thing the best thing I was Uncle Murder, and I walked straight past him. Didn't even know it.
I was like, bro, I'm pretty sure that's Uncle Murder. I don't care. Bro, I wouldn't have cared either on the goal. But the thing is, we hung out with his entourage, and we didn't know he was entourage to Uncle Murder. And then I was like, bro, that's the same dude. That's Uncle Bernie. Like, I don't care. And he want to watch.
Oh, but that nigga chain was nice, though. I can't front. I can tell.
That's how I can tell. Like, bro, he iced.
Yeah, I was like, bro, that wasn't no regular jewelry. I was like, you're a rapper. You're a legit rapper or something.
But you didn't want to talk to dude.
That shit was. I knew that was real gold. It was shining hard as fuck, and it was like
Uncle
10 at
Bernie
night.
was on that show, on that 50 Cent show, wasn't he?
Power.
Yeah, he got shot and killed the first episode.
Damn. But yeah, man. Light beings, they may or may not be out there. I don't know. You tell me.
I've heard a lot of things about this. I don't know.
It's a lot of shit out there.
I know.
Not enough files are released.
I know that there's a lot more that we don't know than what we do know.
I'm tired of regular reality right now, which, I think we talked about that the other day, that we may be entering a new age. So, am I the only person that feels like we've kind of hit the wall right now as far as advancement?
I don't know. Quantum computing is
nowhere.
going to take it off.
Nowhere.
I feel like we've hit a wall.
Quantum computing, bro.
No, how are you going to say we can hit a wall when you got Elon and Bill Gates talking about hooking our stuff up to the
Neuralink? I'm not doing this shit.
I feel like that's an usher. I feel like that's an usher into the next step. But right now, I feel like the age we're in, we've hit the wall.
That's
because all we're doing is improving. All we're really doing is improving everything we currently have. But I feel like the Neuralink. I feel like that's going to be the beginning of the next shit.
Okay. Well, we haven't hit that wall.
I'm not fully counting now because it's not made yet, like fully. It's still in the works.
You want to be testing? No,
what about quantum computing?
They're testing right now. You want to hook up? Hit up Bill Gates. He'll hook you up right now.
I'll hit up Elon before Bill Gates. Fuck that.
Whatever.
Bill Gates doing some spotty shit as of lately.
Hey,
Elon isn't.
Elon is I don't know. I like Elon, but I'm trying not to be too biased because he's so cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's the difference between Elon and Bill Gates. Elon has a lot more charisma than Bill Gates.
We have technology to get rid of blood clots. We have technology to cure cancer. We have technology to cure any disease.
I told somebody the other day that we have the cure for cancer, and they was like, "No, we don't." I was like,
"We've had it for several years.
We've had it
for AIDS.
I was like,
for over a decade.
I was like, bro,
people with AIDS are like living now. It's cool.
Yeah, like it's normal.
Nobody still wants to talk about the fact that Magic Johnson is 100% free, but nobody want to ask why,
bro. He's been like that. He's been like that for a minute.
Yeah, he's been like that for a minute.
And he had it since early 90s. Yep.
And he ain't never really just sick.
He never sick.
Actually, he ain't even lost weight. He been fat.
He been healthy looking the whole time.
Moving around.
Bro. Like nobody.
All right, look, Magic. You fucked too many bitches. We gotta give you AIDS, bro. Now look, we gonna let you live. But you can't fuck no more bitches. You hit the limit, bro.
I feel
you
like
gotta pick one bitch and only fuck her now.
I feel like this big ass. Oh my bad.
And his kids, everybody.
Only he had it.
I feel like they can't imagine.
He actually had it.
He never had that.
Wait, I feel like they can't imagine. Like, all right, now you gonna do a deal with us, or we gonna give you the easy treatment. You can live a hero, or you can die a hero.
Live a hero or die a bitch.
And he was just like, "Nah, I'll cut a deal with you." Somebody said.
Could you imagine somebody?
Magic's curse of getting AIDS is him having that son.
But that motherfucker is extremely successful.
He is extremely successful.
And he dressed like a fucking matador sometimes.
Bro, I ain't gonna flex though.
I feel you.
That motherfucker had on the hardest like Louis Vuitton. Nah, it was like
I just want to the matador.
It was like it's like a harness that had a little bag right there. That shit's really motherfucking fly. I wanted to get a petite. That shit's real fly. But whatever. That's how he live his life. He. I don't know. I don't know what.
You can't be assuming Magic's child is living their life.
Listen,
and that's how you gotta phrase it.
I don't have to do anything.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't have to do anything that I don't know.
Like, I'm sorry I offended you.
If I'm ignorant, that's fine because ignorance is bliss.
Tell that to Joe Biden.
He gonna say, I agree. What you say?
And you ain't black if you don't agree with Joe Biden.
Right.
Oh, did you show them the Donald Trump website? Did you show them that shit? Bro. Oh my goodness. I almost fucking died laughing. Right, y'all are not gonna believe this shit. You gotta pull this shit up. Pull it up, Jamie.
You ain't. Pull it up, Jamie.
Pull it up, Jamie. Pull it up real quick. Bro, I had to look at it. I was like, bro, this cannot be his website. I refuse to believe it.
Donald Trump is a troll.
Bro, he's... I'll admit
he made memes politics.
I'll admit he is not my favorite president, but he is definitely my funniest president.
I didn't think
he's fucking ridiculous.
This whole time I always wanted to be like, nah, Trump is smart because he gotta be smart doing it. But now I'm starting to believe Trump is actually dumb. Trump is actually legitimately like not smart.
No.
And he's just a troll. Like, he's good at what he does, clearly, but he's actually stupid. But I didn't believe it. I thought this was an act, right? And I argued with it until, like, somebody, I was looking at an interview, and somebody said an old story about Trump. So it was about WWE. You know, Trump and Vince McMahon are best friends, right? Mm-hmm. So there was a thing, like, over 10 years ago where Vince McMahon died and the car blew up, right? Trump called the next day and was like, is Vince okay? I watched last night. And I'm not sure what's going on. And it was like, Vince, answer the phone. He Donnie needs to know. And he was like, I'm good. And Vince was like, okay, that's good. I just making sure. And he was like, and he said, and this is an old interview. And he was like, Trump was legitimately worried for Vince. And I was like, bro, you funded WrestleMania 2 and 3. How do you not know this is an act? And I was like, bro, he really dumb.
Now, my optimistic ass is like, well, I know now that Donald Trump, he's
at least he's compassionate.
No, he's compassionate. He's empathetic.
He's got compassion for his friends. He wanted to make sure Vince wasn't dead, man.
Is this real? That's not his. No.
I said the same. I was like, no. I was like, get this out of here. Like, no.
People screenshot it, bro.
I was like, no.
I may buy this.
Let me see.
I may have to cop one.
I was conflicted, bro.
Bro, I didn't believe it. Bro, how fast did he do this?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it just happened like yesterday. He already got the models and everything. Well, they photoshopped it on a random person.
Put it in the chat. Send me this. Send me this. Okay, I'm about to tell my girl this is what we get. We get matching.
He said, have you heard about the Biden thing? I was like, I heard about this shit. He said, what about
Y'all
Donald Trump?
Put that image on the motherfucking screen.
The hardest.
I'm definitely going to
so everybody can see why my face was just like that.
I'm going to edit it in.
The hardest trolls has to be 50 Cent and Trump now. That's 50 Cent level of petty. That is 50 Cent level of petty, bro.
You ain't black. Oh my goodness. That's the hardest campaign trail. It's like, bro, that's the biggest flip. Really? You gonna pick this nigga?
Just lost, bro. Like, seriously, this seriously is fucking just cost him the race.
I'll be honest with you. I made
this, like, seriously just fucking cost him, like...
I made it up in my head. I'm going to be paying attention to who says they voted for Biden after this. I'm like, if you still voted for Biden, I usually...
Say they're racist.
Usually, I don't like to... Usually, I don't like to
worst
people.
Politics ever. This is the worst ever.
I remember when Hillary said...
What happened to the Democrats? Why did they do this?
Remember when Hillary said, I sauce in my bag?
Why? Why do they pander so? Why do they do it?
You can't one up Obama.
What the fuck is... What the fuck?
Because they're trying to get that level of, like... thing of avoid
they need the black vote so bad. Is that what?
It's a thirst.
There's an old, like, 60, 70-year-old black man telling black people what makes them black.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Biden.
What? That is the most out of
vote?
touch thing that's more out of touch than the hot sauce in the purse.
If they want my vote, they better get out there and start doing the jig. Just like how they made Negroes do.
Hey, watch out.
Get up there.
Bro, they do have rappers and shit at these DNC.
Beyonce did it for Hillary last year. Last time. Do y'all remember?
You know what? I remember that. And I was like, really, Beyonce?
Right. I was like, really, bitch? I mean, I'm sorry.
Come the fuck on.
Call Beyonce.
Yo, chill.
Redacted.
Hey,
Cut that.
Cut that. No, for real.
Bro, we on the PLC page, bro.
You really got.
You trying to get us out?
Apologize to the
That's where they're powerful at. Remember.
I'm sorry.
They strong.
Now listen, if you want a lot of people to watch it, keep that shit in.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna keep it in.
I don't know, man. Just beep it out or something.
Hey, check out the next episode. PLC versus the Beehive.
That is not endorsed by KP.
We be recording from under a bridge. I done got kicked out of here. Like, well, they somehow found a way to kick me out.
They found my address. I had to move.
And we're still going strong, y'all. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for anything, but we going.
They got me fired.
I got audited. We're gonna keep it alive.
Beehive is powerful, man.
But yeah, man. The way I feel now about Biden, man, it's very different. I wonder, like, has it always been this bad? Have they pandered this hard?
Biden is literally that white guy that says, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. And he points to Obama.
No,
Yep.
he's the literal.
That's literally a Biden.
He's literally the embodiment of the negative things that we say about white liberal people. Which obviously white liberal people aren't bad, but that little niche of motherfuckers that live on the other side of
all
racism.
the liberal white people that delete me from Facebook.
Yes.
Point out they're racist.
He is them. He like we literally talked about the other person that was like, if you don't vote for no, he got mad at that one chick. He was like, you're not voting for Bernie, but you're black. It's the same thing that Biden did. It's the same thing. Like, he is literally the embodiment of those people. Just like, why are you like this? Like, you just make everything about race and all this other bullshit. Like, it is, but
it was because Bernie fought in the civil rights, so of course black people got to vote for Bernie.
But you know what? I like Bernie more as a person than either one of them.
Yeah.
And you know what?
You feel more sincere.
Bernie was a good speaker too. Like, you know what?
I fuck with Bernie.
I fuck with him just on a level of like, you know what? He's not an asshole.
No.
Actually, policies, whatever, but you know what? He's not an asshole.
We've entered such an age. I've noticed this over time too. Over time, we're becoming a lot more. What's the term? Informal. Just all around, in business, outside of business. I used to hear I talk to some of my customers. Yeah, man, what you up to? What you doing? Blah blah. Oh, this how your week been? That's cool. That's what's up. But we're becoming so informal now that people like Biden and Hillary, who are still trying to come off that super political, super professional, they just seem fake as fuck. So when you put them up against somebody like Bernie or Trump that's like slightly informal, slightly more personable, it's hard for you to care about somebody like Biden from the jump just because you still see the old political ways, the way shit is run. I'm going off a script. This is my agenda. These are my people I'm pandering to. And
do you know what made me
scripted.
really fuck with Bernie again? Like, on a level that I was like, man, I would totally vote for him if he would still stay in the race. Like, it was that thing where when COVID first popped off and they were questioning him about, like, what about the campaign? What about it? He was like, I've got a fucking pandemic to deal with. I'm not worried about my campaign. That's what he told the reporter. He said, I got a fucking pandemic or a fucking health crisis to deal with.
Isn't he still in?
He is.
What if this was like, what if somebody in the DNC was just like, Biden, we can't ride with you. You got to throw it. You got to throw it where people going to vote for Bernie.
To be honest with you,
Biden's like, all right, I know how to get to him.
To be honest with you, I thought
put Charlemagne on.
I thought
put Charlemagne on.
One more try. If I do this, it's gonna be big. I feel like Biden is only there to make Trump look better.
Almost.
I thought that was the reason. Like, everybody was there to make Biden look better, and Biden was there to make Trump look better.
Like, and that's the thing. All of the other runners have endorsed fucking Biden now. Yeah. Everybody's endorsed Biden, and now he's done this terrible thing.
Now, now we got to go back and look at all them. Like, you still riding after this? Because I need to know.
That's correct. Yeah. Like Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Black Democrats. What do y'all have to say about this?
They ain't gonna say shit.
We need to hear something. But they ain't gonna
Black
say
conservatives destroy Black Democrats. I don't know if y'all ever seen people argue. Black Democrats are so uneducated compared to the average Black Republican. It's bad.
Shit, it's starting to look that way.
To be a Black Republican, you gotta. It's almost like you need to know. You gotta come with facts.
You have to know what the fuck you're talking about, or is they just gonna call you a coon ass nigga?
Republican, people gonna say you ain't black.
Yeah, they're just gonna call you coon. So you
call you coon, Tom.
You got to know exactly what the fuck you're talking about to support why you on that side.
I don't identify with anything because I'm like a liberal conservative.
You're just libertarian.
Like, I feel how I feel. Am I
libertarian?
Is it?
Yes.
Probably like a lower level.
Sometimes you just want to put a boot on your head. I got you. Libertarian. No. Sometimes you just want to own a tiger. Libertarian.
No, I don't.
Sometimes you want to cut a hammock out of the bucket.
Sometimes you want to put a hole in a hammock, man.
Libertarian. Sometimes you just feel like that. Libertarian.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like I want like drugs to be
sometimes you want to offer a couple guys, straight guys, gay sex and meth. No, libertarian.
No, that's true freedom. That is what America is about. If I can own 100 tigers and just do meth on like 30 acres, what the fuck is this all about? What is this about?
Sometimes you want to start a zoo.
Joe Exotic, man. You should drop a Joe Exotic mixtape. Yes! I made him spit back in the
man, forget this podcast. Let's set the studio back up.
The worst part is
Joe Exotic.
I used to be into the animal print a little bit. Damn.
Joe Exotic and you dress like Riff Raff. Tell me it's not hard. That's a hard, bro. Pop, bro. I think that's the move. I think that's the way for 2020, bro. I think, And you can still wear masks, just different color print masks.
Animal print masks.
Joe Exotic, the Vapor King.
That we take your dreads, we making like in a heart or some crazy stuff.
We was Tiger Kangs.
We was Tiger Kangs. Ooh, you pushing it.
I know.
I
almost put that on meme, but I was like, I don't feel like addressing the comment section on that one.
The mixtape cover can be the Lion King, but it's Tiger King.
That reminds me of that crazy cover.
It's you holding, and it can be you holding up a miniature you.
You remember that goofy ass
like
cover?
a mini me.
You're Rafiki and Simba.
Remember that goofy ass cover where that dude was like, baby goat? Yeah. It was a goat laying on the operation table giving birth to him. It's fucking disturbing. It was such a disturbing album cover. But I was like, it works. But people look at it like, what the fuck is that?
Whatever, if you want to hit for
No, bro.
So,
Yeah.
we've covered a little bit of Sleepy Joe, Biden.
How we chopping this up?
How do we?
What makes you ain't, if you ain't black if what?
We should do an episode like that. You ain't
We
black.
do. But we got to do it real crazy. You ain't black. We do. That's the next one.
You ain't black.
This was this is what happened when you give some people freedom again.
Yes. Free talk.
It was free talk. We
Free
finally
talk,
got a
real
freedom.
talk. And y'all know me and how I be stressing opinions lately. Keep your opinions.
Yep.
Because they coming for them next.
We sound crazy
Keep
as fuck.
your opinions and get prepared to drag when you tell them.
This was a roller coaster ride of a show.
Right?
Now, I will say this too.
This was a crazy episode.
You can get
I'm so
drugged, but you
sorry.
can also do what I do, which is ignore those comments. Turn your phone off. That's the best. Is Joe gonna reply? No, bitch.
I
I'm
just
playing video
don't
games.
comment on social media, so I don't gotta talk to anybody.
I've been real
I
chill.
really don't care to talk to people via like text and typing. I always tell people I have a very hard time trying to convey what I want to say in a message because when I speak so loosely and with so many words.
Sound like you're libertarian.
I feel like my tone come across crazy through text sometimes. So I don't
Me
like that.
too, because I don't like.
I feel like people think I'm more mad than what I am.
I don't want to come across as an asshole because when I read back what I say, sometimes I'll be like, damn, that kind of sounds like an asshole thing to say.
I sound apathetic sometimes. And I'm
I just feel like I always come off aggressive and I have to like tell people like I'm not. But that's why I've learned emojis, because emoji, you can say something real hype and then you put a laughing react and you're like, oh, it was a joke. It's a better version of LOL.
Smiley face. It's going to be enough for this episode.
Well, smiley face.
Let's kick and start up the next one. So we'll see you lovely folk out there
Hit record.
for the next time now, y'all.